Welcome into my house. I'm Dan Gresham, KFDM, KBTV morning show host, and also longtime Southeast Texan. Experiencing a little bit of some technical issues this morning, but we're doing some workarounds. And again, I'm going to apologize straight up. I'm wearing glasses today. I normally don't because you see the blue reflection right there. That's the problem. But unavoidable today, I'm afraid. Yeah, I went out yesterday and everything's blooming. You know, the wildflowers are coming. The what is it? Bradford pear? Is that the white trees that are everywhere? And then of course the tulip trees are in full bloom. I could go on and on. But anyway, whatever it is, I woke up this morning. I don't know if this ever happens to you. It's like your eyes are glued shut, nose is running. It's just spring in Southeast Texas. So anyway, that's where we are. And without the glasses, I cannot see this morning. So if the reflection is horrible, I do apologize. And we'll get through it. It's not that big of a deal. You've seen me at my worst. and there's not a best. So that takes care of that problem. Hey, don't forget, as we move forward this morning, you're always invited to be part of the show. I love it when you comment. I like to hear from you. I want to know what's going on in your world. You can tell us where you're watching from if you want. You can just say good morning. The numbers have been shrinking a little bit on the morning live streams. I'll be honest with you. So, you know, as long as we can keep up to a certain number, I don't think we have a problem doing these. At some point, you know, and we've been doing these for more than a year now. So I understand, you know, they kind of lose their urgency when the pandemic is not quite as strong or there's nothing pressing going on. Obviously, anytime you have a weather situation, you know, you have a hurricane, you have a tornado, you know, everybody's going to come to the internet. But on the day to day, you know, that's when it gets a little bit tougher to attract people on you know, a lot of people do live streams. A lot of people do podcasts. But how often do they do them? Probably once a week, maybe. And we're doing this, you know, trying to do it 5 days a week. So I think it's a little bit tougher to keep everybody here. But you know what? We'll just keep it moving forward. We'll do what we can do, and we'll offer a look at what's going on in the headlines. We're going to also kind of deviate these days, start talking about specific topics. And also maybe even throw in some interviews along the way. So if you got somebody or a topic you'd like to hear discussed in depth, feel free to let us know and we'll see what we can do to get it on. So let's check and see who's up this morning as we get the day rolling. We'll start first up, right? All right. Esther, good morning to you. Mary Wolford is with us this morning as well, as is Carlene. As is Stephanie watching in Austin. Stephanie, I love to hear from you. Also, Tom, good morning there in Illinois. Meanwhile, Michelle McNeil is in Camdenton, Missouri. Good morning to you in the show me state of Missouri. Whitney Dixon is with us this morning. Glenda is also up this morning. Tom says the glasses look good. I just don't want you to be blinded by the reflection, Tom. When you can read, here, let's see, you can pretty much read what I'm reading. Actually, it's the screen to my right that is reflecting. Should I try to reach over there? Nah, we'll just let it reflect a little bit this morning. Also, Tammy's up this morning. Hi, Tammy. Shirley is here over in Cyprus. Good morning, Shirley. Hope you had a good day started for yourself. Hi, Cynthia. Jeannie Foster watching from Viter. She hears rain. My daughter had to get up and take one of the grandkids over to Galveston for a doctor's visit. She texted me because, you know, we wanted to make sure she got there. She said, I went through some nasty weather on the way over here. So it may be that it's coming. It may be that it stays off to the west, but you're right, Jeannie. It is out there. Also, good morning, Yvonne. Hi, Bobby. Glad you're up this morning. Rashika is up this morning. Also, Gary Harris is up with us this morning. Hi, Gary. Anna Hester says, good morning, back in Houston today. Yep, definitely understand. Allergy eye glue, LOL. And you know, here's the bad thing, Anna. It's not just that it glues your eyes shut, or it feels like it does. It's also that burning sensation, like you just can't open your eyes as hard as you try. And you know, the sad part is, if you have the allergies, it'll be going on for who knows how much further into the future. You just kind of got to, you know, get something and try to move forward and get through it the best that you can. Hi, Lucille. Glenda, you're right. You've been sleeping late. It's all you, Glenda. That's why our numbers are not there. Cynthia, she says it's the time change. you might be right. Might be right. It could also be that we're just not, consistent enough, or I don't know. There are a lot of factors at play. Good morning, Rosemary. Nice to have you with us this morning. Also, Cynthia, Cynthia says she has rain. Maybe I need to open the window and look outside and see for myself if it is raining. Again, don't forget, if you do want to weigh in, you do comment. If we don't bring you up during the live stream, you don't see your name on the screen, it's okay. We read all the comments from all of you once we're finished. We know what everybody's saying. We know what everybody is doing and where they're coming from. Hi, Renee. Good to see you this morning as well. All right, so let's jump in. Let's find out what's going on this morning in our headlines. We'll start things, as always, over on KFDM TV. And here's a story nobody likes to see. In your community, carjackings, carjackings. And the sad part about this story is when you read this, is that the person did their best to try to comply with the demands of the people, who were involved, but it's never enough. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to shoot you anyway. But the victim says he did and still got shot. He's asking us not to identify him. But here's the other thing. Before you get too panicked about this, and I agree, anytime, anywhere should be of concern. But don't we all know that there are certain times of the day that you're more likely to be confronted by problems than others, right? Wouldn't you say at 4:30 a.m., that's probably a time? And I say that, I'm not pointing at the victim. All I'm saying is you have fewer people out and about. You have a greater chance of exposure, and there's always that chance at 4:30 a.m., when you're walking out of your house, you're not situationally aware. And that's something we've been preaching a long time here on the update. Know your surroundings. Know where you're at. We talked about it during the holidays. If you're going to a store and you're coming out, you've got your, hands full of bags, you're a prime target. And we all know thieves, criminals, they're going to take the easiest target they can. They don't want to be confronted. They don't necessarily want to have to work for it. Otherwise, they'd have a job. They wouldn't be robbing you. So be aware, be smart, be heads up, be situationally involved. I'm not sure it would have stopped this one. I'm just saying that time of day seems like it would, play better into something like that happening. Again, does not decrease the value of the man's concern or our concern. You always hate to see stories like this happening in your community, but it is a reality. So we need to be aware of that, and we need to be smart about how we go about our business during the course of the day. So that was one story. Yeah, somebody said, I carry. That's one way to be. But here's the thing. Glenda, you can carry, but if you're not aware, it's not going to do you any good. If you're not paying attention to what's going on around you, if you're so into your own thoughts that all you can see, is what you're going to do next, that's when it becomes a problem. Also, here's another one. Robbers shoot man outside his Port Arthur home, take truck. Well, that's the same story, but there was another shooting that I saw that. There was another shooting. I believe it was in Orange County, though, in the city of Orange instead of Port Arthur. So crime is crime. It carries on. Pandemic doesn't really seem to slow it down. Also, we have spring break going on, Little League getting started. We have also vaccination clinics going on all over Southeast Texas. Every county has them. Every public health department seems to be having them. There seems to be a lot of vaccine in Southeast Texas, which is not the case in other parts of the country. So, as I've been saying for 2 weeks now, if you want it, make your phone calls and get your vaccine. All right. Also, I mentioned spring break is going on. Do you think people want to get out? Of course they do. There's Port Aransas. Good crowds going on back there, right? Then you also can, I'm just going through, this is the Chronicle. They're just showing this, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. There's the crowd. South Padre. Lots of people out. You go down to Galveston, I promise you, it'll be busy. You go down, to Crystal, it'll be crowded as well. USA Today, vaccine passports. Have you heard about these? Vaccine passports should be free, private, and secure, the White House says. But who will be issuing them? The federal government shouldn't be involved in verifying that people have been vaccinated against COVID-19, the White House says, but whatever process is developed should be free, private, and secure. It's not the rule of government to hold that data and to do that, says Andy Slavitt, White House senior advisor for COVID-19 response, in a Monday briefing. Has this been like this the whole time, and I'm just now noticing that? There we go. Okay, so that is the story. What do you think? Should Americans be issued some proof of vaccination? If you want to get on a plane, a cruise ship, if you have a job you want to go to, and they're saying, well, we're not going to let you in. Or even if you want to go to a nightclub. Now, Israel already has a green card to prove people have been vaccinated. Others are talking about it. And the question becomes, would you have a problem if you had to present your papers? Is it any different than having to show your driver's license? And it is a way to protect each other. It is a way to know. I've been enjoying, yesterday I did get out. I haven't been out much, as you can imagine, since post-surgery, but I did get out yesterday. Lamar University was having their senior day. Not as in me senior, but as in senior in college, graduating senior. They had a senior day for their women's tennis. And I love tennis, enjoy tennis. A good friend who is the tennis coach, two good friends, I hope. I can call them that. They're the tennis coaches at Lamar. So I went out. It was a beautiful day. I sat in the bleachers, got some sun, watched it go. But anyway, I sat with some other seniors, and we're like, we can take our mask off. We're all fully vaccinated. Did we? Well, maybe when it got really hot and there was nobody else around, but when there were others around, we didn't. But realistically, we certainly could have. So how do you know who has and who hasn't? Should it be something you wear? Or do you want to know? Or do you care? Or should it be something that, okay, you shouldn't be concerned about whether they have or they haven't. Just pretend nobody has, and everybody will be more exacting, more safe, more comfortable? I don't know. I'm curious. I'd like to know what you think. Again, you can post up and let me know what you think. Would you have a problem? Would you have a problem carrying a vaccine passport and or anything that would identify you as being fully vaccinated? So that you went someplace, they would say, okay, no mask required. Kind of be nice not to have to deal with a mask. And of course, you're not mandated. It's not required in the state of Texas anymore. And if you don't get the vaccine, I'm not sure. That's the other question. Are people going to hold it against you? Those who do say, well, if you didn't get one, sorry, you can't sit in this section. Be interesting. Be interesting to know what you're thinking. All right. And again, you can post up your comments here on this live stream, just like you would any other Facebook post. Also this morning, speaking of other stories, winter storm. Now, we knew it was tough, but did you know we had 57 deaths in the state of Texas, and it was from hypothermia? The deaths occurred in at least 25 counties. 25 of the fatalities occurred in Harris County. Some deaths, as you can imagine, carbon monoxide poisoning, right? Set up a generator, trying to stay warm, didn't put it out far enough. Every time we have a hurricane, we have to preach the dangers of carbon monoxide poisoning. It was the same during the winter storm. I had no idea that we had 50. I knew we had deaths, but I guess I didn't realize we had 57 deaths and that most of them were hypothermia. I don't know what I thought they would be. I guess maybe heart attacks, people who maybe had pre-existing conditions, but I had no idea we had that many deaths. All right. And I'm going to close it out this morning because I'm going to keep it fairly brief as I can, 15 to 20 minutes. Don't want to spend any longer than that. We all have more things to do than we can probably get done today, with a lighter story. And that's this. If you're worried after the winter storm about, wildflowers or the ornamentals at your house or, the shrubs at your house, there are great sources to go to, great places to look in. As you can imagine, the Texas Extension Office has a terrific library of information that you can draw from. You can call the county agent in whatever county you live in and just say, hey, listen, I'd like to get some more info. I've got some azaleas. They don't look real good. Or, whatever plant it happens to be. And most likely, they'll have some information they can share with you. But there's also a lot of good stuff out there on the internet that you can find for yourself. And if you're a bluebonnet person, there's probably no better place to go in the state of Texas than the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center. And if you have never been to the Wildflower Center, it's a beautiful place, but online, it's a great place to go. But if you go there, you can find out about their hours, their tours, their garden spaces. It's all right there online. But they also offer up a variety of different information that you can go and use for your own, like the how-tos, or you can ask an expert. So don't think, you're in this by yourself. There's a lot of cool places to go that you can get more information. But know that the wildflower season is going to be really good this year, okay? So keep that in mind as you go through. Maybe that'll, brighten things up a little bit. All right, thank you for sharing a few minutes with me this morning. I do appreciate it. I will look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow. You go out and make it a terrific day. Don't forget, you can follow KFDM a variety of different ways. We always like to remind you can go to our Facebook page, which you're on right now. We'll update all the stories throughout the day. We'll also, of course, be on Twitter. Morning TV Dan is the way you find me. And if you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can. That's Dan at Home. Hit us with a like before you go this morning. We would appreciate it. And we, again, will look forward to seeing you at noon today on KFDM TV. And then, of course, 5, 6, 5:30, 9, 10. You got lots of choices when it comes to news on KFDM and KBTV Fox 4. And again, I'll look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow morning for another At Home update.